I'm ashamed to say that before a couple weeks ago, I did not know who Glen Campbell was, and I feel like if I didn't know, a lot of people might not know. So I wanted to make this video describing his life and his accomplishments and his ultimate drift into Alzheimer's and how it affected his life and his musicianship. So if you don't know Glen Campbell, you will know these people. He's played with people like Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra,
strangers in the night,
Beach Boys.
Well, she got her daddy's car and she cruised through the hamburger stand now.
He's this big guy. He was a country guitar player. He was known for his guitar playing. He was one of the best guitar players we've ever had, and it was impressive, the level of musicianship he had. He was country, but he could do everything. This level of musicianship showed in the respect that other people had for him. Alice Cooper and he were really good friends, and in an interview after Glen Campbell died, Alice says that Van Halen wanted to take lessons from Glen Campbell.
People like Eddie Van Halen one time, said, "Can you get me a guitar lesson with Glen?" Now most rockers would go, "What?" That's the kind of guitar player he was. He was considered one of the 5 best guitar players out there.
Van Halen is very far away from being a country singer, but he wanted to take lessons from Glen Campbell because he was in everything. He could do anything. So he was a really good musician, and he had his own TV show because of it. It was called the Glen Campbell Goodtime Hour, and it was basically like a musician's dream. He owned an hour of TV where he could do music, have guests to play music. It was a lot of fun, so that's why I've decided to just rebrand my channel into the Ben Cooper Goodtime Hour, and I'm sure you guys will love it. It'll be great. In 2011, Glen Campbell announced that he had Alzheimer's, and with this announcement, he said that he was going to go on tour. And people were kind of worried about this because they didn't want to ruin the image of Glen Campbell that they had in their mind. But nonetheless, Glen Campbell went on 151 tours, and towards the end, it did get worse and worse, which is why they ended up having to cut it off in 2013. But you gotta respect what he did. He went on a tour, and he was losing his mind, but he could still read chords, and he could still read lyrics. And when he got to a solo, and it was just him playing, he could still shred the guitar. And this kind of got me thinking, he was losing his memory, so how could he still remember how to play guitar? But in his documentary, I'll Be Me, it shows the progression of his Alzheimer's during his tour, and it shows a lot of things, including the doctor saying that his music side of his brain was so big that that's why it really wasn't affected as much as the other parts of his brain. In a sense, his brain was shrinking, but since the music was so big, it was shrinking, but it was still bigger than the rest of his brain, so he could still just play guitar like no one else. Along with his documentary, he released a song called I'm Not Gonna Miss You. And let me tell you, this song is chilling. It's him talking about how he's not gonna miss his family because he's not gonna remember them. And if you've not heard that song, I 100% recommend it. It's such a sad song, and it makes you really feel for his family and feel for him because you can kind of hear the fear in his voice. This story really hits home to me because I have Alzheimer's that runs in my family, and my family is really into music. My Mimi plays music, and my dad plays music, and I play music. And we could all start losing our memory and forget how to play our instruments. And I can imagine not playing music because at this moment in my life, I do it all day, every day. And I don't know what I'll be like at the end of my life when I might have Alzheimer's, but I hope I'm still playing music in some kind of form, and I would hate to not be able to do it anymore. And I have no way to verify this, like I don't know if it's true or not, but if I was in that situation, I would kind of imagine it like there's this kind of itch that you can't scratch because you kind of feel like something's missing, but you can't do it because you are not sure what it is. And I'm sure it would drive me crazy, and I'm sure it drove Glen Campbell crazy and anybody else that deals with that kind of problem. Glen Campbell died on August 8th, 2017, and it's a shame what Alzheimer's did to him. And he made life musical all throughout his life. He dropped out of school to pursue his love of music, and he never stopped until he just couldn't do it anymore. This channel is all about making life musical, and he is the epitome of making life musical because he could not stop playing guitar, and I respect that. So that being said, I'm gonna try to make life musical just like Glen Campbell made his life musical, and I hope you will too. Take this story and help it motivate you. I'll see you in the next video.